Welcome back everyone to another D&D horror story. My name of course is DM Rhino and I do these to educate people and just to have a bit of fun, but also to read some of the horror stories people have gone through with D&D and to help us learn from them, of course. But remember, if you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. Without further ado, let's begin with a D&D horror story from XX Night Thing XX, entitled DM'd for a girlfriend and the person she cheated on me with. Okay, that's a lot to get into. Yeah, let's have a look. Been watching some D&D horror stories vids, and I thought I'd give you one of my own. Well, thank you, I think. So, important content. This happened when I was in high school. I am out of and have been out of that relationship for a couple of years now and don't and talk to neither of the mentioned people because everything that went on both in and out of the game. Okay, can't read there for a second. I went to a high school in a small borderline redneck town in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. And one and my one goal was to establish a D&D club. I'd played before. I loved it. I wanted to share my love, but my access to the internet was spotty at best. So online groups were a no-go. I eventually got my goal at the start of my junior year. And with the mental support my of my at the time girlfriend, started my first D&D club at my school. I started with a solid 30 or so kids, but eventually we had to cut out the middle schoolers, which left me with 7 people, including myself for the campaign. I had planned I I planned. I was kind of grateful for this, as even though I know I'm not a terrible DM, 30 would have been a lot. Yeah, 30, I mean, anything above 6 is a lot for any DM. Like, you've got to have a lot of patience with that. Um, the campaign with this was a standard homebrewed fantasy world with a plot of one of you is secretly a fallen deity god. Find out who it is. Spoiler, it was all 3 of them. Or all of them. Very cool. That's actually a nice idea for a D&D campaign. Yeah. I helped with character creation and all of that. And we were off. Just under halfway through my high school year, even though my ex and I were experiencing relationship tension, she came out to me as poly. And I said that was fine to try being in a poly relationship with one of our friends. Again, like being in high school and dealing with this, I think you should have probably just ended the relationship. Because as high school students, we're not really that mature yet, so that's why I would have ended that relationship. TLDR, it didn't work out. Ended semi applicably with our friend getting into a mono relationship with someone else, and me admitting I was not poly nor down for a poly relationship, which I was which I was told was fine. Again, yeah, because we're in high school, we're experiencing high school drama of relationships. That's okay. So this is all the backstory for the actual drama. And then the other person came into the picture. I refer to her as a sorcerer. X became obsessed with a sorcerer after she made a comment about being down to do things. If he, me, wasn't a factor, or if I wasn't down. I was personally weirded out. Not, but not X. So I would be weirded out too. Unbeknownstly, but kind of no, just ignore to me, they began secretly seeing each other to do things behind my back. Oof. I didn't learn until January of that school year that they had actually done anything. She promised she would break it off and never do anything again as long as I didn't leave her. I was hurt, it sucked, but at least I had D&D, right? Well, kind of. Ugh, let's see where this is going. We had to switch to online sessions because our lunch period just wasn't enough time, so we could pretend I was somewhere else with a DM smoothie. We had to switch to online sessions because our lunch period just wasn't enough time, so I could pretend I was someone else with a DM smoothly. Way this is written. Um, it didn't really work out. Unfortunately, X dropped from the campaign, and after contributing mostly nothing to it, but I continued to DM in that tense of environment until mid-summer of that year, when I spent up the end, where I sped up the end to be done. So he sped up the end of the campaign to be done. I loved that part. Most of the group were great, but with what was happening in the background, I just couldn't. Completely understandable. Personal life does take up preference. We often forget as DMs that personal life does affect us. And if we need to take a break and we just need to end a campaign, that's completely fine. Like, if you are going through something and your campaign and you're in the middle of a campaign, just end it. Just say, hey, I need to take a break. But I mean, this guy was in high school, presuming it's a guy. Could be a girl. I don't know, but they were in high school. High school, we're not quite maturing yet. We're still getting there. So I understand where this person is coming from. I stayed with X until that August. Then it came out that not only had she been with the sorcerer the entire time after breaking it off, but she was also in an online relationship with someone in another state. Oh, yeah. So physically cheating and emotionally cheating. Okay. Sorcerer had also been trying to get with me throughout that time and was well aware of the relationship between me and X. I ended up calling off the club and I started my senior year. It sucked, as I just jumped through many a hoop to get it started, but it was for my mental health. Yeah, no, absolutely understandable. You did the right thing. Mental health comes first. Like, D&D is a great way of coping with mental health, but yeah, what you went through was horrible. You needed to take account for yourself. It's completely understandable. A short list of things made that truly made D&D an aspect of this horror was he played the flirty tiefling sorcerer who would flirt with my ex's character and NPC. He would ignore me talking to her when it's not related to her. Because she was in it, my now best friend didn't join despite him being really wanting to. I got accused of betraying my ex, forging new rules to be unfair with the sorcerer. Oh, for fudging new rolls, I see. I think for he said forging rolls, it's more like fudging rolls, which is yeah, but they're computer rolls. So yeah, so when you play online, there is this weird thing where you do play online, and sometimes you've got to clear your cache to get a better dice roll. But honestly, you can't really fudge computer rolls there. Yeah. But yeah, this is bad. I feel sorry for you, Night Thing. I mean, especially being in high school, this is a very like this yeah, like we all go through these things in high school and we try and figure out our relationships and we progress as adults and stuff like that. But it sounds like your ex was going through a lot of other things, and they were trying to. They'll probably. I mean, they weren't trying to. They were using you as a form of coping and in relationships and things like that. And obviously, finding out that they were had other relationships, not just you. It just seems like this other person, the sorcerer, was, you know, adding fuel to the fire. And you know what? I'm proud of you for taking time out and putting your mental health first, which is important. So you can be proud of that. Look, it sucked, but you got through it and you're stronger for it. Well done. So you did a good job there, and I'm I'm happy that you are in a better place right now. But it did suck that this happened to you in high school when you worked so hard to make your D&D group. Um, and I hope that you are running. It does look like you are running another campaign, which is really good for you. So good job, Night Thing. But once again, these have been D&D horror stories. I hope you have enjoyed them. Um, my name, of course, is DM Rhino, and if you like these videos, um, please hit the like and subscribe, ring the bell, all those things, and I will be back tomorrow with another D&D horror story. Thank you, everyone. Until then, have a great day.